Happy Friday, Channel Surfers. This is Remote Reality, and I'm Lauren.
And I'm Mama C.
And we're covering Big Brothers Season 27, Episode 32, the eviction from last night. Also, at the end of this episode, after our ending song, we've got a spoiler. I don't know that Mama C knows yet, but I know who won the next HOH. So we will not talk about that during the episode. Wait until after the ending theme song, the one at the end, not the one at the beginning, the one at the end. Hitting my mic over here. And we'll talk about the next HOH, little early Sunday spoiler. So let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With a host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
So I had a brilliant idea this morning. I thought I would dress like Vinny because he has a very unique look. I mean, it's something that you could do for Halloween. Ava, too. You could dress like Ava. You could dress like Rachel. A lot of these have iconic looks. So I've got on my plaid t-shirt. It's pink, not red. I looked everywhere around the house for beanies. It took me probably 20 or 30 minutes to find them. They had been moved, but we've got a gray beanie. Now, I also had some Mario mustaches from my son's 4th birthday. My husband was wearing them just the other day. I could not find them. Looked everywhere. I do not know where he put them, but we'll just substitute here. Vinny, do what's best for my game. I feel like you don't care about my game, Morgan. Love you, Kelsey. All right. So anybody on YouTube just saw my amazingly horrible Vinny impression. Okay. So our spoilers were pretty right on the mark for last Sunday. The only thing Mama C and I really want to touch on are the zings because we just made up some at the end. Weren't as good as Zingbots, although they're about to cancel Zingbot.
I hope not.
Well, I'm talking about the house guest. We love Zingbot. Zingbot brought the tea. Now, we knew about the Morgan zing. I didn't quite realize how dramatic it was going to be. She iced him out. When Zingbot did a zing, she just stopped looking at him. She acted like he wasn't in the room. She's over there cooking stuff on the stove. She was pissed.
I don't even know why she's pissed at Vinny. I mean, she's the one who's initiating a lot of the stuff.
I thought she was mad at Zingbot.
Well, the truth hurts.
Zing was sitting there like, it's awkward. Now, the other zings, apparently Keanu pees on the floor. We must have missed that in the live feeds. Something about how he likes to play Dungeons and Dragons and all the fantasy stuff, but he misses the toilet. That one was meh. Vinny.
I mean, that just goes to show that even Zingbot loves Keanu.
Probably. Vinny's was pretty raw. That he is unemployed, 34, lives at home, and cries all the time. Ashley's, they were hitting on the same thing we were, the shower, but they kind of dug in that that's all she's done. Same thing with Lauren. They just said she doesn't really have a personality.
Yeah, she's boring.
Which is, it was kind of like what we said. And then Kelly's weird. She collects dead bugs. So,
and I said that. You know what? We did have a zing that said something about the alliance was called the Anti-Social Club.
So, yeah. Zingbot zings and remote reality zings.
What about Ava? What about Ava's? That they had to bleep out because her clothes look like beep, and then she shot.
I thought they said hobo.
Hobo beep. I'm thinking it was the SH word, and then she had something bleeped out, and she gave them the bird. You know, yeah,
the bird flying towards Zingbot. So house guests weren't happy with it, but I thought it was pretty good. All right, so for this episode, we left off with Vinny being HOH, Morgan winning the veto, and the question of whether, we left with the nomination, which was...
Oh.
No, we didn't leave with the nomination. Wednesday.
No. No, but
Our
please don't
spoilers
forget the
left with the
demise.
nomination
Look,
on Sunday.
don't forget the demise of Zingbot. And that was part of the veto competition.
Okay, go ahead. You talk about that one.
Yeah, it was a true or false question, but Zingbot, after he left the Big Brother house, was attacked by Mastermind, and he died. That's what we're left to believe. So there was a crime scene, and the house guest had to answer true or false questions. I'm hoping Zingbot is not dead, though I think Morgan's happy about it.
Well, this isn't the original Zingbot. Remember, they did like Zingbot 2000 or 3000. They had upgraded Zingbot at one point. Maybe with technology, Zingbot will be a little snazzier next time. So because of the weird and manic mayhem September schedule, we are doing our spoiler episode on Sunday and then covering the live evictions for Thursday. On Sunday, we left off with our spoilers on Morgan winning the veto. We didn't know who the renoms were. We did hit on conversations between Morgan and Vinny about how Morgan wanted Lauren to go up. So if you missed the Sunday episode, if you're saving it until Thursday or Friday, until after the show aired, so it wouldn't be a spoiler anymore, you can go back and listen to that. But we're picking up with Veto. Ava, Keanu, and Kelly were Vinny's original nominees. And when Morgan won the veto, she unexpectedly, without Ava even knowing, decided to pull Ava down, forcing Vinny to either put up Ashley or Lauren as her replacement nom, which you would think the answer would be obvious. You'd think it would be Ashley. I guess he does have that Judges Alliance, though. Maybe nothing is obvious with Vinny.
No, it was a weenie move. He cannot make up his own mind. And he should have probably put up Ashley if he was that into keeping Lauren. But he went and had Morgan promise that she would keep Lauren.
He's running the house.
Who's running the house?
Vinny. They should have gotten rid of Lauren. But for some reason, he keeps backstabbing all of the house guests, and they all keep being loyal to him. He has definitely played Big Brother unlike anyone I've ever seen play Big Brother. Lauren and Ava are having a conversation about Vinny's game, particularly how Vinny whines and cries all the time. And Lauren, she's been nothing but loyal to Vinny, and she feels like she's getting screwed over.
Welcome to Keanu's world. Welcome to Morgan's world.
Welcome to Life with Vinny. Welcome to Kelsey's world.
Oh, zing.
Zing. Sorry, Kelsey. Actually, I think that Vinny and Morgan, I don't think they're doing anything except they're just very close with each other. But Vinny does say, he says, I love you, Kelsey, every time he votes. And like you said, everything they're doing is on camera. It's not like he's hiding anything. I also don't see him emotionally connected to Morgan. That is his strongest alliance. He's very smart to pair with her because she's a gamer and she's doing very well. But
did she reveal to the house guest that she's a gamer? At one point, she said she hadn't told anybody. And I don't know, maybe she's told. Okay.
She hasn't, but she's good at the games. That goes without saying. She's doing great in this game. And she's being very loyal to him. And she's holding him accountable. Lauren isn't at all. Keanu tried to once and then pulled him off the block immediately. Morgan's the only one that seems to be holding his feet to the fire just by directly talking to him. But yeah, Ava's sitting there drinking wine, and she says, all he does is whine. All he does is cry. She points out to Lauren, he is not loyal to anybody but himself. And Ava can't stand Vinny's game either. So they're seeing it inside the house. At least Ava is. She's reading him right.
I thought everyone in the house was oblivious to how Vinny was playing I don't know how, because all he does is whine and complain. And obviously, he
Backstab.
has some health problems.
Oh, I mean, he's crampy. I get cramps watching him. Indigestion, something.
I cannot believe the montage they had of him complaining about the cramps. They said something about eating a banana, but I'm like, drink water too.
Well, the potassium in a banana is supposed
Well,
to
I
help.
know.
But he's like,
So
maybe
is
it's because I
water.
stood up and sat down so many times today. He's unemployed living at his parents'. Maybe he just hangs out in bed all day and he's moving around more. I don't know. He was cramping. He had cramps in his groin and his foot and his leg. He's 34 years old and falling apart. I'm 41 and falling apart, but I'm not that crampy.
You young people, I'm 68 and I'm like going strong.
I have a 4-year-old. I hit pause on the recording real quick and Mama C came out with something good. Are you going to say it or are you going to make me tell him what you said?
Okay. You said you had a 4-year-old. I said, well, I have your father.
Hey, Dada. Hey, Pops.
Just kidding.
No, you're not.
Zing!
We're actually going to come down or up or sideways. I guess it's up to Columbia.
Yeah, even though you're traveling
Mostly
west, it's north. It's mostly north, I think. I don't know.
It's
But
like
I'm
a
excited.
2-hour drive, but that's our plans for today and the weekend. Go hang out with Grandma and Pops, little Jakey Jake. But all right, back to Big Brother. Now, Vinny has gotten in Morgan's head. Vinny gets Lauren and Morgan in the HOH room and just kind of pulls out, I see this as my final 3. It's the first time he said it to them. I guess it wasn't obvious. I guess a lot of his talk is in the diary room and Morgan's not seeing a lot of the talk with Lauren, but first time he's saying this is my final 3. Now that didn't quite sit right with Morgan, but what really got to her is Vinny told Morgan that keeping Lauren this week, not voting Lauren out, he says, if you don't do that, that's like bigger than the game to me. If you betray me, that's bigger than even this game, keeping Lauren in there. Your thoughts, Mama C?
Well, I just have a question. He calls Morgan, and Morgan says that she's his number 1. And then they both say Lauren is his number 2. But to me, that's the same thing. She has a final 2 with Vinny. So he's going to take Lauren to the final 2 as a number 2. And then Morgan is a number 1, and that he would take her to the final 2. There's a lot of miscommunication on purpose.
Well, Morgan said she wasn't upset as much about him having a backup. She knew that. What she's upset about is him saying it's more than just the game. Because
I know.
she infers that to mean they won't be friends if she votes to evict Lauren, which would be in her best interest. She's starting to put 2 and 2 together. That doesn't make sense to me. Vinny saying that it's more than just game to him, keeping Lauren, because in the same breath, he's saying, you don't care about my game, Morgan. This is one of the people that is close to me. You want to get rid of the people that are close to me. And that's what's going to help me win. But it's not about game. To me, that's just a manipulative gaslighting tactic that Vinny is using to play with Morgan's emotions. And she caught on to it this time and she wasn't having it.
Yeah, he's like, it's my game. Why would you put Lauren up then? You should have still put Ashley up. I mean, he's got to have people in the jury house. Does he think by following what Morgan says, if him and Morgan are the final 2, that Ashley's going to vote for him now?
Vinny is losing in the jury house right now.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what the final speeches sound like, but I don't think he's going to cry his way to $750,000. The hypocrisy of him sitting there and saying, you don't care about my game to Morgan. Did you care about Morgan's game when you picked Lauren to play in the HOH competition? Did you care about the judges' game when everybody was telling you don't do that? You've only cared about your game this whole time, Vinny, which is fine. This is a game for $750,000, which Morgan starts to realize she's not in here to be best friends. She's in here to win money. So, Mama C, would you pick Vinny? Or would you fight for the $750,000, the 1 in 5 shot you got?
Oh, 750,000.
Hands
Yeah,
down.
absolutely.
I mean, that's why I'm there. I'd screw over all the house guests for the 750. Oh, and Vinny, such a drama queen with all his passive aggressive manipulation. He just says to Morgan, screw it. He says another word, but I won't use it in front of Mama C. Let's evict Lauren. And they're screaming at each other. And Lauren and Kelly are just sitting right outside playing chess. And they can tell that they're not getting along. I wonder how much
they're not laughing.
They're not laughing.
Kelly says they're not laughing.
I'm wondering how much of that conversation they heard. Because Lauren does jump up and go to have a conversation with Vinny. Morgan gets in the shower. They're still fighting. Vinny goes back into the bedroom and Lauren comes knocking at the door. And this is right about the time Morgan's getting out. And Morgan's like, give me a few minutes and I'll just get dressed and get out of here. Well, turns into Kelly and Lauren sitting outside waiting for Morgan and Vinny to finish up the probably hour-long fight they've been having. And Kelly, she's had enough of it. She says they've been waiting all summer to talk to Vinny. That basically is what BB27 has become. So she walks in there and tells him to speed it up. Don't leave us on wait. That's interesting to me that her observation is that everybody's waiting to talk to Vinny. It was something I hadn't thought about. But how does that affect the jury's opinion of Vinny's game if the Big Brother house has basically become what has Vinny to say?
I don't know.
I think it could
I
be a
look at
powerful
Lauren.
argument. I just don't think he is capable of making
But why is it that they're waiting for Vinny? It's because of Morgan. You talk about Vinny being manipulative. Morgan has been manipulative, staying in his room all the time so that Lauren can't come in there and talk game.
But she's not lying, which is fine. That's part of Big Brother. There's a lot of players I love that lie. Like sometimes that's my favorite part of the game, but this is different. Vinny's lying and manipulating and then crying about it and throwing a pity party just feels a lot different than Will from Big Brother 2, lying, manipulating, and then going into diary room and laughing.
That's true.
Clearly making it part of the game. It's almost like Vinny believes his own bullshit.
Well, I love what Ava said, that he's just playing lip service. And I guess that's why he's got that nickname, Vinny the Lip.
Vinny the Lip. Yep. Vinny giving that lip service. When he finally does get a chance to talk to Lauren, he's promising her that he won't vote her out. But he tells Morgan that he will vote Lauren out because Morgan keeps pleading with him and trying to convince him somehow that Lauren's not best for his game. It's not best for Morgan's game. So he's just painting himself into a corner again. He's having this conversation with Morgan. She walks out the door and he tells Lauren something completely different. Now,
that's all right,
Vinny
Morgan.
Looks, what were you going to say?
I said, that's all right because Morgan told Vinny she wouldn't vote Lauren out. So, but in the diary room, she's like,
Vinny also tells Morgan he doesn't want to get rid of Keanu because Keanu is a shield. Morgan says later that Keanu is a shield. Do they not realize that Keanu could win out on vetoes and BB Blockbusters?
Keanu has a strong game, stronger really than anybody else in the house.
Wonder if he's throwing the HOHs so one, he's not having to put people on the block, but two, people are thinking, well, he can't win HOH. if he knows he could win a competition, any competition, then why not save that win for Blockbuster or Veto?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the case because he
hasn't
doesn't
won an
win every
HOH.
competition. He hasn't won any competitions that he's wanted to win. I mean, there's been some competitions he hasn't won yet.
He has not won an HOH. He's been on the block almost every single week and pulled himself off. And they think he's a shield because they're not seeing him as a threat. And I wonder if that's because he's not winning the HOH. I don't get why they don't see him as a threat. He's also manipulative. I mean, he's also playing a smart game. He sits down with Morgan and tells her why she needs to get Lauren out instead of Kelly. Because remember, Keanu wanted to stay with Kelly, and him and Kelly are saying one of them needs to win the BB Blockbuster, which the chances are pretty good because it's Keanu and Kelly. They are kind of the BB Blockbuster badasses. They've been winning
Look,
them all season.
And you have to remember, look who's in the jury house. Rachel. Rachel said when she left, she hugged Keanu and said, "Make me proud," or "Don't disappoint me." I think that's what she said, "Don't disappoint me." It's very likely that Rachel could be talking to the jurors, changing their mind and letting them see Keanu's game.
Well, I think the jurors are going to be having a lot of things to say. That's something I thought about during this episode. And we'll get to that. So Keanu has convinced Morgan. I think Morgan was already convinced, but he lets her know they're on the same page. It would be best to get rid of Lauren. Ashley talks to Morgan, and Ashley says it's time to start playing this game. It's time to start. It's time to get into this game. She goes and convinces Morgan that it's going to be best to get rid of Lauren. She says, are you playing Best Friend Island or are you here for $750,000? And Morgan says, good point. And then she says, we could beat Kelly in the finals. Ashley says she or Morgan could beat Kelly in the finals. Lauren, she says, has a stronger game, which Lauren does have a couple of HOHs, but Kelly, she was on the block 6 times and kept getting herself off. It's a different game. Would you say Lauren or Kelly has a stronger game?
I think Kelly. She's won Blockbusters. She could even argue that she volunteered to go up on the block at first. However, just like I thought, once you volunteer, people are going to keep putting you up, and now she complains about it. So but she plays a stronger game.
Well, Lauren isn't playing her game. She's just listening to what everybody has to say. She's playing Vinny's game. Lauren is playing Vinny's game. BB Blockbuster, Kelly, Keanu, and Lauren. Going into this, I thought Kelly or Keanu would win. I did not see Lauren winning this Blockbuster, which is what happened.
Yeah, I was shocked how she kept dropping those balls in the chute. They had to get 4 or 5 balls in the chute. And I was just shocked that she took her time and she was leaning way over the rail. The other ones leaned over too, but I don't think they were doing it as low as Lauren did it. And they weren't taking their time as well.
So we go to votes. Ava and Lauren vote to evict Keanu. Morgan and Ashley vote to evict Kelly, which means that Vinny has to be the deciding vote. And he's got to pick between Keanu, who Lauren voted for, or Kelly, who Morgan voted for. And Vinny evicts Kelly. So that draws a line in the sand with him and Lauren. That wasn't obvious before. Now,
I think he's afraid of Morgan.
He's afraid of Morgan. Mm-hmm. So Kelly finally does what I've been saying people should do all season with Vinny, which is as she's walking out the door, she starts calling like 3 alliances out that she had with Vinny. I had a final 2 with Vinny. I had this alliance with Vinny. I had this alliance with Vinny. He'll do whatever Morgan wants. That's what she says as she walks out. Mic drop. I thought that was great.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost, if Morgan's thinking, that's almost like if her and Vinny were sitting in the final 2, Morgan can say, look, I was running this game with Vinny. Remember what Kelly said.
Well, it also gives Lauren, Keanu, and Morgan something to think about because they all feel like they have final twos with Vinny as well. And I wonder how that will play a part in their heads this coming week. So Kelly goes out to talk to Julie, and I was surprised she kept blaming Morgan for her being evicted because it was Vinny.
But Vinny does everything Morgan says.
He didn't pick Rachel first for that HOH comp. She may have realized it was Vinny too when they had the closings, because Vinny says to Kelly in his goodbyes, "You're a question mark." And Morgan compliments her. It was very nice, which Kelly wasn't really the question mark. Vinny's the question mark. Now, Kelly has felt betrayed by Vince since week 3. I was surprised to hear it was that early on, which makes me think Ava, she's got her finger on the pulse. She sees Vinny's crying, Vinny's backstabbing. She sees his gameplay. Kelly says she's seen it since week 3. These house guests, maybe they're in denial, but I think as they leave the house, they're going to realize that Vinny played a part in betraying them. I think he's going to have problems with this jury.
I agree.
Pick Rachel first. So we already know that she's going to campaign against him. Will might vote for him. Will did say when he left that Vinny could win this. But see, they know what he's doing. Ava, I don't think Ava's going to vote for him. After that conversation she had with Lauren, she should have just flipped Vinny the bird. And Kelly, I think it depends on who's in the finals. But if it's anybody that has equal footing or even just like a little less of an advantage, I think she tips it to the other person. Like if it's Keanu versus Vinny, she's going to go with Keanu.
I think what you said about Will maybe voting for him, I don't think he does. I think him and Rachel are having wonderful conversations about the Judges Alliance and how Vinny screwed over that alliance in that White Locust competition where he didn't choose Rachel. So
I disagree. I think Will is sitting there thinking about his chocolate drop and fast forwarding in his brain through whatever Rachel's saying. He's got her on mute. He probably can't wait for someone else to get in the house to come in London ear to Rachel. Unfortunately, that's going to be Kelly, who is so excited to get in there and annoy Rachel. Lucky Rachel.
We can disagree with Vinny, but my prediction is Vinny's not going to sit in the final 2.
I hope not. But if he gets there, he certainly deserves it because he is playing a wild game. Julie asked Kelly, what did you take from the Big Brother house? And she said that she learned to play chess. She actually beat Keanu, a gamer, at chess. Now, I was watching the TikToks the other day, and or it might have been YouTube. Jimmy, Zach, Adrian, and it was one of the girls. Mickey joined them at the end. It wasn't Amy. Anyway, one of the other evicted house guests. They were just talking about the show, talking about their experiences in the house this season, saying how weird it is that they're back at work already. Oh, it's Catherine, because Catherine is not back at work waiting tables yet. She's just decompressing. Catherine from Colombia. And how weird it is that they could still be in the Big Brother house and they're watching their housemates play out the rest of the season when they're just going on living their lives. So speaking of what did you take from the Big Brother house, apparently security is like locked down tight. Jimmy said that he tried to leave with Rachel's shirt that she gave him and security took it from him. They wouldn't even let him have Rachel's shirt that she gave him. But he did manage to take a few things from the Big Brother house. He took a key to a wardrobe. He slid it in his pocket and he took something out of the HOH bedroom. I want to say it was like a little tomato or something, like a little figurine that he says he wants to, or a cherry. He wants to have it framed. But he was like, yeah, just put it in your pocket. They won't find it that way. So Jimmy did pilfer a few things from the house. Kelly,
well,
what did you take?
Not going to be. I'm sure hoping that it's not part of one of their competitions for the final 2.
I wonder if Julie saw that. So she's like, Kelly, what did you take? She's putting her feet to the fire. grilling them as they come out. Julie on security. So when Kelly walks out, the mastermind comes in and announces the double eviction. I don't think the house guys looked that surprised. They probably were expecting one this season. This is the only one this season. And they go outside. They've got this HOH where they are rolling a ball. It's almost like skee ball, but they have to land it on a mat at the end. And you see like Morgan and Ashley are pretty close, but Morgan starts getting into this groove. She's using this strategy where she's slowly rolling the ball, but then she's bouncing it off the side at the top. So it goes from the side over to the carpet. So it loses a little bit of speed, but not until it gets to the top and bounces off the side. I saw her get that strategy and she just started getting them back to back after that. She got 5 first, and Morgan wins this Speed Week HOH. So she's got to put 2 people up. Boom, boom. Lauren and Keanu. Now, you don't hear a lot. You just hear very quick conversations. But Morgan asks Ava, do you want me to put you up first or Keanu up first? Basically giving Ava the choice. And Ava says, I don't care, whatever you want to do. It's clear to me in that moment that Lauren's her target. Keanu and Ava are just popping a spot beside Lauren. And Lauren doesn't really say anything to Morgan. So everybody is playing in the veto competition. And also, we have now gone back to regular Big Brother. There's only 2 nominees now that we're down to the final 6. Veto competition.
It was kind of lame, to be honest with you. Find out where the mastermind is. I mean, it was so easy. I'm like, were they going to have all 6 people tied at the end?
I didn't catch some of those. And there were only 2 people tied at the end. But the question I had was the mastermind really in those pictures or was that photoshopped?
I think it was photo.
Okay.
No, it was photoshopped because it looked like a cartoonish kind of mastermind.
I was watching on my phone and zooming in. I couldn't tell.
Oh, yeah.
But that would be weird. Like if they had these pictures and this guy had snuck into them because there was one, it's like the cast and he's laying in the hammock. So I was thinking, did he sneak on set? The only one that gave me question was the dollhouse competition. I call it the dollhouse competition where they were in the 80s prom dresses and they had to figure out which room was safe.
Oh, I saw that one.
The mastermind. Well, I saw that one too. He was in the bathroom, but the way that he was in there, I was like, that could be cropped. The other ones.
Well, no, there was one where they were sitting on a couch. Somebody was sitting on a couch and the mastermind was laying kind of like right at their feet.
Oh, I don't remember that one. I probably did not catch him in that one. But at the end, 7-7, we go in for a tiebreaker and it's Morgan and Keanu. Keanu, in the tiebreaker question, they have to count in seconds how long one of the events was. Keanu immediately writes down 1800. Just boom, 1800. It's like he doesn't even do the math. He may have done it in his head, but he just writes it real quick. Morgan looks like she's doing some real complicated something. Calculus, I don't know. She comes up with 120 seconds. That's 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I think it was the Mystere train, the wall competition. I mean, 2 minutes on the wall competition or 2 minutes from where somebody fell off of it.
She looks like she's doing long form algebra and she gets to where Julie's telling her to lock in an answer. She comes up with 2 minutes. Maybe that was a strategy to aim low, thinking if he goes over, I'll be fine. I don't know. But the answer was 4,000. And the look on Keanu's face, it looks like he doesn't think he got it until quickly Julie announces that, yes, Keanu has the veto. Keanu, of course, takes himself off the block. Ava pops a seat. It's Ava versus Lauren. And by a vote of 2-1, Lauren is evicted. Vinny is the only one that voted for her. Lauren is such a southern-belle. Her exit reminded me of like a pageant queen. She hugs everyone. you hear the girls chanting, "We're BB, the girl's the big brother," and clapping as she walks out. Ava and Vinny are crying. I didn't realize how close Ava and Lauren were, but Ava says in her exit speech, she's the only girl in the house that she really felt like accepted her and loved her, even though she's a big weirdo. Her words. But she's a weirdo. It's okay, I'm a weirdo too. I feel you, Ava. And then when Lauren goes outside to talk to Julie, the pageantry continues. Her answers are all like very prim and proper. She's okay going home if it means that she was too trusting. She's okay to go home for being too trusting. She thinks Vinny is great. It's just a game. They were the most pageant answers. She might actually vote for Vinny, unless this was just her putting on a front. Do you think she'll have hard feelings when they get into the house, the jury house? You think she'll start to see it differently?
Maybe, especially if people start talking about all the backstabbing he did. However, the other two that he backstabbed a lot were Keanu and Morgan, and who knows, they may be the final two. I don't know.
Now, Lauren said she thinks Morgan has a good chance of winning. That might say
I
something
agree.
about her jury vote. Maybe
That's
she
true. I mean, I
picks
agree.
Morgan because Vinny is playing Morgan's game. Maybe she sees it that way. Julie was asking her a lot of questions about Vince, too. Why were you so loyal to Vince? Do you trust Vince? I wonder if that sends her any subliminal messages.
Yeah, I was surprised that Julie was asking a lot of questions because I'm like, they're going to the jury house. I'm hoping you're not planting seeds.
It felt like she was planting seeds in that garden. And she was calling Julie Miss Julie. So that was the most I had seen of Lauren's personality this whole season.
Well, I have to laugh because as I'm thinking back, Lauren would not survive in a room with you or me because we are so loud. And she's just so soft-spoken. It's just, I mean, really, it's really cute that she's so soft-spoken, but
I'm not a
not like
southern-belle.
us. Neither am I. Even though we were born in the South. Oh, well, you weren't. I'm sorry, but you were raised mostly in the South.
Yeah. I was born in Pennsylvania before we moved to New Jersey, and I didn't learn how to say my R's.
You were 5 years old when we moved to Virginia. And even though the people in South Georgia didn't think that was the South, it was the South.
Well, the people in Virginia thought I was from Ireland because I talked so fast. Now, Ava and Vinny, they're upset about Lauren leaving. Vinny seems to get over it pretty fast. But before he does, Ashley, she is thrilled that she's in the top 5. She says that as she's leaving the vote, she's like, woo, top 5. And then she goes to shout it out right after Lauren walks out. But then she reads the room and sees Vinny and Ava crying, and she stops herself because she's like, top. Top. Yeah. You guys okay? And then Ashley asks Keanu what time is it? And Keanu says 6:51. And at that point, I was thinking, we haven't had, well, I guess the wall comp. We haven't had many overnight competitions. Usually in Big Brother, I feel like there's a lot of episodes where they leave you hanging in the middle of a competition and you don't know until you come back the next episode. So I almost thought that that was going to happen. Instead, we get a preview of tonight's Big Brother, whatever.
Unlocked.
And it's the guy from
DC Comics.
What trilogy is that called? Has
Well,
Groot in it?
Well, he's got the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that's
which I love.
But I was thinking, well, maybe we'll have a competition. So this morning, before we started recording, I did go to check to see if maybe an HOH has been named. And
wait a minute,
surprise.
Are you going to wait?
I know who it is. We're going to say our let's ride, let the theme song go. Stay tuned after the theme song. I just want to point out that our top 2 picks from reading the profiles are strong contenders to win this season. You picked Keanu. I picked Morgan. they are both playing a great game. We've picked 2 people just from reading their bios before the season even started.
And we didn't even know about Rachel at that time. We didn't even know. And Rachel played a great game.
Now, also, if you go back and listen to the preview before the show started, I was going to pick Lauren because her name was Lauren, but then I switched to Morgan because she's a gamer, and I thought Keanu looked like too much of a beast. I thought they would get him out because they realized he was a threat. He's a personal trainer. I thought he would do good because of the game, but you did pick Keanu. We both agreed that the house would probably love his personality because he's so doing Dungeons and Dragons. You would think that somebody is very animated and they live in a fantasy. But I was also between Ashley and Morgan because I said, oh, Ashley's an attorney. And the last time I picked an attorney first was Xavier, and he won. We've already seen how well she presents herself and is able to persuade houseguests what might be in their best interest. So I think if you take Ashley to the final 2, you're going to have a skilled debater against you. Somebody who's learned how to prove a case.
Well,
but
the other
I went with the gamer over the attorney. So all of my inclinations were in the top 6.
I just wanted to mention about Ashley, how one of the arguments about winning is that she played dumb. Is she going to be able to articulate that she was really playing dumb? Or are they just going to say, oh, she's just saying that because she played dumb? I mean, I don't know.
Well, at the point that you're making the arguments at the end of the game, she could tell him she's an attorney. I think Derek did that, saying that he was a police officer when they got down to the final argument. All right, so enough game talk. We are going to get on to the spoiler. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let's ride. Don't listen to the next part if you don't want the spoilers.
Tune in, don't delay. Remote reality likes the way. See you next week, same time, same place. Channel surfers, let's ride.
All right, Channel Surfers, we're here for the spoilers. If you stuck around after the theme song, you are wanting to know who won HOH and our thoughts on it. Mom C, what do you think? Who won? What's your guess?
Well, I mean, my guess was Keanu, since you didn't want me to look at the spoilers.
Yes,
but
I
now
wanted your live
leaning,
reaction.
now I'm leaning towards Ashley because you said some good things about her. So I don't know.
All right. Well,
You have a long life. I see your palm. Oh, don't tell me you're putting on Vinny. No.
Vinny
No.
won.
No.
I was putting on the hat and hiding it from Mama C and the Vinny won. Vinny is our HOH this week.
Well, I'm not excited.
This is like his 4th HOH. At some point, we have to recognize that this guy is playing a solid game. I don't like the crying. And we talked about that in the episode, but 4 HOHs. You're speechless.
I am. I'm so disappointed.
He won. Morgan won, and then he won again.
Well, maybe Morgan is going to be your winner.
Keanu still has that veto. Now, do you think Keanu sticks with Vinny to the final 2, or do you think he's ridden that train long enough at this point now that they're in the final 5?
I think he would take Vinny or Ava. He did say he was kind of close with Ava. Maybe I'm mistaken. I got
Who would be the best person for Keanu to take, assuming that he survives this week? Because I think Vinny is going to try to get rid of Ava. He is partnered with Keanu. He is partnered with Morgan, and he is partnered through the judges with Ashley. I think he tries to get rid of Ava to try to keep everybody happy.
So there's 5 of them. So there's only going to be 2 people voting. So it depends on who are the 2 people who are going to be voting. If it's Keanu and Ava up on the block and they stay on the block, then you have Morgan and Ashley voting, and then Vince in a tie. Who does Morgan and Ashley vote for?
Oh.
I don't know. This is the thing. You have Ava, who they're afraid that the jury will just like her because she's been playing the social game.
True. I
And
think Ashley would get rid of Keanu. Vinny would have to break that. I bet they'll make Vinny break a tie. Make Vinny get some blood on his hands.
get some more blood on his hands. He's got so much already. He doesn't realize it. They don't realize it, but he does.
That might be how that goes this week. But
Well,
yeah,
we'll
the girls
see.
have the power. Morgan already pretty much said, screw you, Vinny, getting Lauren out as soon as Vinny's HOH was done. Keanu, even though he's been screwed over so many times by Vinny, I feel like he would still keep Vinny around. I don't think he would aim to get rid of Vinny. Although for HOHs, that is incentive for whoever. Oh, wait a minute. No, the next HOH will be final 3. After this, there will be 4 left. And then you'll have the HOH competition where the one person that wins picks the 2 they take with them.
Yeah, I think that's right. Usually it's like a 3-part competition.
That's the
Isn't it?
final HOH.
That's the
between
final
the 3
one.
of them. But the second to last one. So yeah, what we're going to have is, and I think Vinny gets to, does he get to compete in this last one? He might get to compete in this last one. After
don't
this
know. I
one,
don't
this one that
remember.
he just won.
I don't remember.
I want to say they all get to compete in the final one, and whoever wins that picks the other 2 that go with them. Yeah, actually, I might be blurring the final HOH with the last to final.